Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, TransportTrainSolutions.com on a Tuesday. This is 23rd of June. Let's get right into the charts. We have a market's just kind of pausing here today after this morning's sell-off. Let's start with the Russell, which is interesting. The Russell is trying to come off the this supply zone. And if it breaks 2950, I think we're probably headed back down to 2850. Also on the S&P, essentially we're holding right at these lows here. Uh, and looking at the contract specific, looks like we broke through the gap. And I can see, so far it's been just a meandering day. So we kind of stalled out here for the most part, right along this demand zone. So it's like 7,400 is some area you want to look at. Interestingly, the NASDAQ is holding right at the rollover gap so far. It looks like they're maybe trying to push that through. I'm doing this about uh, an hour and 15 minutes before the close. So you can see it looks like maybe they're going to go after these lows down in here. Also notable is Bitcoin, which looks like it's headed back down to 61K and maybe even 60K, especially if are in the midst of a sell-off right now. The VIX kind of holding around the 20 level. I think if it gets up, if we get a bigger sell-off, I think a market bottom would come in if we rally back up maybe into, if you look at the daily chart of the VIX, um, looks like 28. We still have, can't even get above 23. So it'll be interesting to see if this is the beginning of something bigger. I think something to look at today. Um, Dollars is the standout still. You can see the dollar breaking out. I wrote about it over the weekend. If subscribe to the newsletter, this obviously has major implications for currencies. We got the euro sitting right at a looks like it's breaking demand. Gold in particular, all the metals are under pressure because of the stronger dollar. So it looks like gold's probably headed back to test those lows here. Silver, all the metals really under pressure because of I think silver is coming back down to that demand zone here around 59. Be interesting to see. Now, remember, if uh, we continue to see a rally in the dollar up to 104, then you probably are seeing you could see silver back down to 50. Even copper is seeing some downside here, which is really interesting. Oil looks like it has a floor so far. Now that more or less a deal is just kind of working right now. Uh, so far, it looks like all of that information is taking oil down to 72, and I don't see it going much below 70 if you look at the forward charts. Um, in relation to stocks, you've got again a mixed bag today with some of the software names coming up. NVIDIA looks like it wants to break 200, and some of these energy shares. We here at TTS are long calls on Cheniere. Um, we bought it a little bit lower, but obviously it came all the way down. The better buy, obviously in retrospect, was 225. But I think this, if it can keep going, I think it goes to 245 and possibly even higher than that. And so there's a lot of below the surface. There's a lot of stuff going on, especially with some of these software names. NVIDIA below, around 190 is going to be interesting, and so on and so forth. So that's where we're at. We got core PCE on Thursday, and we have Micron earnings tomorrow. Those could be catalysts, but even before that, you can see markets starting to sell off here. We'll see if there's any continuation to that. Also, lastly, SpaceX, which is something I've been tracking. Obviously, everybody has a lot of interest in SpaceX. Um, Today, it's getting a bit of a bounce, but I suspect that they are going to test the IPO lows at 135. And in fact, that's going to be very critical. If it can't hold that, then I think it goes to 100. So watch that and see if it can crack 135, which is the IPO price. Then I think you get much lower prices. Um, but there's going to be some great opportunities coming up in this one. I was talking about shorting it because obviously it got way, the euphoria and all that once it come out. But how far is it going to come down is be interesting. 135 is really should be the floor because of the underwriting and all that. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Again, subscribe to the newsletter, give me a thumbs up, put some commentary, and let's see what the market does today. Let's see if this is the beginning of something bigger or the buy the dip comes in. I think we'll know by the end of the day. All right. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you on Friday.